David's got all cattywampus around here. You wanna sit over on that side?
Just take it there.
I was just gonna go get my stool.
But you
Oh,
also-
and sit on your stool? Yeah.
Can we get it?
Kitchen.
Underneath the table?
Yeah, I can't sit on it.
Sure.
Oh, no, that's not here. Tables here, but-
Oh, they were free. I mean, border like, yeah. It's a little bit. So, sure.
Here, and it's too. Nobody's gonna sit there. No. Yeah, then I can move my stuff. They're right that they don't look like.
They do not look
That's always.
Yes, we are.
You should run around the big. I love that when it.
Hello, President, how are you? Whatever.
Yeah. That's very cool.
The middle-aged person. Oh my God, I love it. That's right. Saturday. That's it, right? Okay. Oh my God, that's serious. I didn't know that. I think when Jenny. Yeah, of course. Okay, I'll take care. Oh, yeah. Very good.
Yeah. Yes, my.
Oh my God. I know, but that's funny.
I tried that obviously, and I started finding out.
Yeah. He's like. Celebratory.
Yeah.
And I finally thought, you know what?
And some stuff.
So, yeah.
Somebody's watching me.
Where's your costume?
Yeah.
One of his favorite.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, we'll start to get started.
Oh, yeah. I need a licensed contractor.
All right, give me three things. Three good things happening. Who's got one?
Window. Rock.
I bought a house last night.
You did?
Oh,
Where at?
where I live now. Did you use a good realtor?
All right, what's another one?
I had a baby.
Yeah. Yeah. Pull up. Spider-Man?
My wife just booked hotel rooms in Italy for our trip next year.
All right, good stuff. When are you going?
June. I'm not gonna get more specific.
Perfect.
Of course. Well, hi guys, it's me again. Okay. Yes, yeah. First of all, I would like to thank everyone who came out also, that were part of the fall festival this coming Saturday. I know the rain was a little bit crazy, but it worked out in the end, so thank you all who decorated the doors, came by and had a good time, so. Thanks.
I wanna,
Can I say
I wanna say, I appreciate this little girl so much. She worked so hard. And it really showed. Because she had a lot of things going against her, and particularly the weather. And it all came together and she worked so hard. She needs a raise.
What is Brian?
Brian's in Austin.
Oh, yeah, Brian is in Austin, yeah.
Thanks,
So,
Barbie.
Don't worry, I'll text
Yeah.
her. On that note.
Aw.
Yeah. That she did a fabulous job, and again, this started from, she wanted to bring the zoo in as a thank you to all of you guys. And then it just snowballed and snowballed and snowballed from there. And she pulled it off and it was phenomenal. We were worried about the rain because it literally rained right up to about 10:45. But she pulled it off and it was fantastic, so kudos.
Much
Yeah.
fun, They're all different kinds of things that she had there. I was so impressed. Yes.
Thank you.
And this was our first time doing something like that, so we'll do it again, and now we know, you know, what went wrong, what we could do better. So if we do it again, who paid for their clients and stuff? Like, it was a cheap way to have clients to come. And even if you didn't pay for them or whatever you wanted to
Yeah.
do, that was the whole purpose of it. So everyone had, you know, an event that if you can't afford to do your own client appreciation event, you could do that here and invite those clients and everything. So good job, Sam.
Hard.
All right, and then thank you to our affiliates. So we have Dwight Pig with America's Preferred. Is Dwight here? Nope. Mark James with Rapid, Melissa with Northwest. What's going on Northwest, Melissa?
I think we're just already on here, but obviously keep going and we're here for your support, so we need you as always. Right next door, so come see us. Thanks again for all your support this year.
Thank you. And then new with us, we have Thomas with Color Homes. Thomas, you want to stand up? Say hi.
Very nice to meet you all. Work with many of you. Thanks so much for having me over here. It's
Yeah.
fantastic. Gone back with Keller Williams. I was with Keller Williams for a very long time, and Keller Homes was rebranded. We're back. Better, stronger, all of you. My office upstairs, you need questions, but great pleasure to be here. I love being part of the Keller Williams family. So thanks so much for having me.
Thank you. And then Max with Home Team. I did not see Max. Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
What you got going on, Max? Yeah.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Max Barkley, Home Team Inspection Service. Thanks for keeping our guys busy. We are seeing a little bit of drop, but not much, about 3-4%. That is our drop. I promise that I will say a little quick story. Can I take a minute to tell you?
Absolutely.
Because I see everybody dressed up, and I did not grow up with Halloween. I had no idea what Halloween was until I'm in Canada and then the United States. And I've never gone on a Halloween run as a kid. So my wife is really big into it. So when we got married and we had a little girl, she said, I'm gonna go and take our daughter trick or treating. I'm like, okay. And she gave me a big bucket of candy. So you just give her candy. So growing up in a culture that you have to be generous, everybody that came in, just gave them about 5 minutes I was done. When she comes back in like half hour later, but this one's sweet that she's not through. Then where's the candy? I'm like, give it to 5 kids. So I learned my lesson that 2 or 3, that's all you get.
That's cute.
Thank you. Yeah. All right, and then we have our ALC. So we have Jonathan Tomko, Mary Sunderman, Taylor Colin, Lisa Gibbs, John Colehep, Bill Benninghoffen, Denise Fate, Stephanie Sellers, Patrick Florence, and Aaliyah Karras. So kudos to all that. Our associate ALC, Kelly Snyder, Whitney Small, and Greg Cunningham. So ALC invitations for next year will be going out today, this afternoon. It'll be an email directly from me. So if you're in the top 20%, you will get that invitation for the ALC next year. So we have a lot of new faces in the top 20%. So I'm excited to get those invites out. With that, so every year since I've been here, I've been trying to do a theme. So last month, somebody asked me what Deion Sanders had to do with Matthew McConaughey. So we gifted the book Green Lights to the ALC last year. So that's where that theme came from. But I like to go with what's happening in the world and take that and put that into something you guys can utilize. So that's where the Deion Sanders stuff came from. Since last month, when they were on a high, has anyone been paying attention to what's happened with them? Not so much anymore, right? So, but that's kind of like the real estate market right now, isn't it? Like for the past couple of years, it's been such a high. And now what are you guys all feeling? A bit of a low, right? So I got a couple videos we're gonna go over today that are relatable to that. Maybe. There it goes.
Sorry, guys.
Y'all are young adults, you're men, and we need to treat you as such. Hold them accountable for what's transpiring. We're trying to raise men. I'm sick of calling and babying these guys and have to check on them and try to force them to be who they want to be. trying to force you to get here on time to do what you should already do because you're trying to invest in yourself so you could be something, so you can make some money, so you can get out of this situation. I don't think you understand that it's over, it's coming soon. It's over, it's coming soon. Like right now, you get tuition, right? They're ready to get tuition. They pay for your school and your education, correct? Right now, all your meals are taken care of, right? And you have a buff card that you can get other meals, correct? What else is taken care of? What you paying for right now? What are y'all paying for? Personally? Rent, right? How much they give you to take care of that? A nice amount, right? So everything you pretty much need, not want. There's a difference between needs and wants. Everything you need is taken care of, right? How long y'all think that's gonna last? It's gonna be over when? Soon. What you gonna do? What's the game plan?
Get more money.
How? That's easy said than done. How you gonna do that? No, straight up. How you do that? Graduate. Have a plan. What's the plan? One at a time. What's the plan? What's the plan? Yes, sir. Electrician's coming. How you gonna do that?
My trade school. And working on IC already.
That's right. Education, right? You got a plan. Because if this don't work out, that's the plan, right? Okay. What's the plan? That's one guy. Where you playing at? How you mad at me because you won't invest in you? Darn it, I got time to think. How you pissed off at me because I'm holding you accountable for not investing in you because I'm forcing you to be a man? So you're gonna be coming back to the complex saying, what about it? Just listen to you, Coach. Kelly, I'd have been something. Coach Lewis, if I just listened to you, did what you asked me to do, boy, I would have been something. But you pissed off at us because I'm making you be a man. How does that work, guys? Some of y'all got that audacity and you're not looking in the mirror holding yourself accountable. Sky Point, let's go.
That's great. How does that make you feel? I know how it makes me feel standing up here. Look around, not as many people in this room today, right? On a Monday, on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday, not as many cars out in the parking lot, right? Walk around the building, not as many agents in the office, right? How many of your businesses is down right now? Raise your hand. Should be everyone, because I see the numbers. Are you guys experiencing that change? Is it gonna be over soon?
No, no.
All right. All right, the Instagram stuff sucks, but it's the only way I can find them.
It's okay. No, it's frozen. I can't.
You think is word. When you see a man with a pickup truck, the first thing you think is word. First thing I bought my kids, Shiloh, Shador, their first car was pickup trucks, right? Because I wanted them to.
We're gonna rewatch it again.
A couple weeks ago, and they were sitting up under my desk, and I said, you know, today is the perfect day to wear. Because when you see a man in overalls, the first thing you think is word. When you see a man with a pickup truck, the first thing you think is word. First thing I bought my kids, Shiloh, Shador, their first car was pickup trucks, right? Because I wanted them to understand there's something about a pickup truck and something about work that just makes you stand out, makes you a little different. You know, my stepfather never promised me to do this, and never promised me he was gonna do that. But one thing that he did was work. He was the foreman at this place called Wicks Lumber, and he took pride in that. So every time I got up in the morning and seen him getting ready, he was putting on that darn uniform. And that uniform I associated with work. So when he didn't put on that uniform, he wasn't going to work. But whenever he put on that uniform, it was time to work, and he took it serious. It even took me on some weekends, which I hated. had me cleaning out these flower beds and these beds, and I didn't want to do that, DT. Couldn't stand it because I didn't understand work at this age and stage of my life. But he taught me something that I will always treasure. That man never saw me play live, even though he was in the house since I was 7, 8 years old. I was so endeared to him that I gave him my Super Bowl rings, any ring that I earned from college football or baseball or whatever. Gave him all that because he loved that stuff. And when he passed away, we put him under with all his rings and all his jewelry that he loved because he loved me. But he taught me work. You've seen a plethora of Hall of Fame guys come in here. And the commonality that we all share, Mr. Sack, and that's why I'm gonna let you take it from here, is work. We wouldn't be in those gold jackets that we had that we didn't pay for if we didn't work.
So y'all know what the work is, right? When you work every day, you pouring concrete. Pouring concrete, now you have a foundation in which you can build a career off. You can do anything you want. But you gotta have a foundation because it's gonna take every last one of us, you understand? My fingers like this, you can break them. But when I ball them up, and I ball them up, and it's me and my 10 friends, now I got a weapon to fight with. You understand? And you do that every day. O-line, D-line, you ain't no friends. Not when we working. We not friends, we working to go to the game to whoop somebody. And the only way you do that is you whoop each other in the week. And then we come together when we put the color on and we won. And we going to get them then. Because I know you done work me and I done work you, but they ain't got nothing for us. Because we put in the work. And when you put in the work, it comes out in the pudding. I guarantee you, that's Bill Mansion. And I like that.
Love it.
All right, so how many of you truly feel like you have been putting in the work, giving it your all? So Glenn and Joe, Michelle, top agents, right? You have to put in the work. It doesn't matter how good you are, you're not going to get by on just how good you are. You still have to put in the work with it. So how many have shown up every Friday? For those who don't know, my calendar is free. That's when I set time aside to help coach, to talk through. If you need to vent, I have 2 very nice chairs. You can come vent to me. But every Friday, that's what my calendar is for. And some of you have come in once or twice. And then I tell you what you should be doing, or we talk through a plan. And then you don't come back because you don't want to do the plan. You don't want to do the work. Right? How many of you struggle with time blocking in your calendar? Hold them up high. How many? Higher? I just want to make sure on camera that I get everyone. So 3/4 the room. How many showed up to my time blocking class on Monday? You're not hurting my feelings. I got an hour back of my time because no one was there. So you have to show up. How many of you have shown up to Mary's business plan class? Good stuff, right? So do you know what the plan is? What's the? You have to be willing to put in the work, have the plan. Because it's over. Next year's already started. Like if you're not already thinking about that and already implementing your plan for next year, like you're already behind.
You meet a family that is wealthy. Somewhere back in their lineage generationally, they weren't. And then something happens. The one shows up. In every family, there's the one. And that one changes that family forever. In my family, I'm the one. We don't think like we used to think. My nieces and nephews are positive, forward-thinking, caring, good people with dreams. I wasn't raised like that. I'm the one. I'm the one who made the calls late at night. I'm the one who drove hours and hours for people to say no. I'm the one who dealt with the heat. I'm the one who typed all the emails. I'm the one who returned all the messages. I'm the one that dealt with all the stress and the strife and the cancellations and the back talking and the people who didn't keep their word to me and the difficult times. I'm the one who lost sleep at night. I'm the one who got up early. I'm the one who carried the emotional burden of winning, just like you are. You're the one. You meet a family that is wealthy.
You
Somewhere
guys
back
do
in
that.
their lineage, generationally, they
How
weren't.
make you feel? Don't make me stand up here till somebody answers. Somebody answer. What's that? How does that make you feel? Right? Have you ever gone through and you make those calls late at night and you hear no, 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 no? Who else? This is a time where a lot of agents are gonna be out of the business. We're already starting to see it, not just here, but at Columbus Realtors, at Ohio Realtors, everywhere. It's only gonna get worse come January when those dues are due. This is a chance for you to be that one. We all have paper in front of us, so take a second and write down why you got into this business.
Set my own schedule. I have a little job. I still laugh about that.
Yeah, it was. That's too bad.
Oh. Sorry, I thought it was blank on the back. Just find a spot on there. And I'm not gonna make you share or tell or anything, so don't feel like this is solely for you. All right, so the next thing I want you to write down is what's a goal that you had this year that you didn't achieve? And that's not transactions, it's not volume, it's not money. It's what were you going to do with that money that you earned? That you weren't able to do this year. All right, now the next thing I want you to write down is who does that affect in your life? Your kids, your spouse, your business partner, who does that affect that you weren't able to do that? And now I want you to picture next year at this same time, you gotta sit down with them in your living room and say, I didn't do this and I let you down because I didn't put in the work. How would that make you feel? I think about that for a minute. That hit home? All right, now we're on the fun stuff.
Okay, so, we're gonna have our little Halloween contest right now, so everyone who wore a costume, if you could come up. And what we're going to do, whoever claps, whoever has the loudest clap will be the winner, and Hype Lending actually gave us a little gift for the winner, so excited. Yeah. It's like a point, Mom. I just, he's like, now that you know what he did.
Well, that's pretty good.
Oh. So I mean, I guess each of you, if you wanna like, know the description of your costume or anything. I mean, Dan, you wanna start? I know.
It's a hobby.
Dan, what do you?
That's good. I'm the ghost of real estate agents past.
I'm your neighborhood cat lady.
Spider-Man.
I'm historically low interest rates because I'm dead.
Oh, it's awesome. The parent daughter.
Moving on higher.
Oh, this is Rabbit. Gonna start off with Dan. Shall. Who's that? Right. Right. Ally. All that stuff. Tiffany. And Sarah. It was Dan.
Taylor. I think I see it.
Wait, can I take a picture of all of you actually too?
You guys are great.
You do all of it.
Yeah, it's awesome. Are you passing out free samples? No.
That's a trick question, don't answer that.
Dan, you wanna be in the middle?
Oh, yeah, you should.
Yeah, come on.
Here, I'll switch it.
Come on, Dan. There it is. You're a genius.
Okay, ready, guys? 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Thank you. Stop
All right, now we got some new agents. So Sherry Orbetz is back with us. Round call right there. Antoine Spence is here. Lauren Solomon. Lauren, here's my- Yep. Tracy Ravenscraft. And Darren Merlin. So, quick kudos to all of them. Welcome. All right, and this is something I'm really excited for. So Jamie is gonna be doing transaction coordination for the office. So when I got here, there was a couple things that the ALC wanted. They wanted sign courier, they wanted marketing, and they wanted TC. So this is the third one that we've been working on, trying to figure that out. And it was more so finding the right person for that job. And everyone loves Jamie. We think she's gonna be phenomenal. There are cards in front of you. One of the big things we want to make sure we're announcing. So if you're using Monique, you can still use Monique, that's fine. But come January 1st, you will have to start paying her on your own. So we cannot take it off of our bills or anything, right? Did I say that
Yeah.
right? Does that make sense?
Commission anymore.
What's that?
Monique was free?
No,
No.
but we as an office was facilitating paying. So if you used her for a deal that it costs $250, we'd take it from your commission and pay Monique with it.
Oh.
We're not gonna be doing that anymore. We will with Jamie. But not with Monique. So, any questions on this? You guys excited for this?
Yeah.
Alright.
Hey, Jamie.
Josh, what's the, like, we paid Monique, so how are we paying Chief?
Same way.
Just, okay, but it would just be.
We'll facilitate it with Jamie and all that, yeah. So, it gets too complicated if we have multiple people that we're trying to pay and keep track of and, all of that.
Is there a menu of services?
Yes.
In the back?
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
prices? You know?
Yeah, they're not on there.
No.
Yes, we'll get those to you. We'll get them all out. All right, any other questions on that? All right, perfect. Mary's business coaching, who's been going to that still? Still good stuff, right?
She's really amazing.
She is,
Really
she's phenomenal. So every Tuesday at 10 a.m. is when business coaching is going on. And then her planning clinic, so October 31st and November 7th, so 1 to 3 p.m. here in the training room. So make sure you're coming to that if you've been. It's not like you can't do it, and sometimes hearing things over and over again, set in a little bit more, so.
Hey guys. Josh here?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Ghostly growth tonight at the Overton's office in Polaris. So we're talking lead generation, new agent, this will be great for Season agent, everyone's From 4 to 6, right? 4 to 6 tonight, and then 5 to 6 is happy hour, so.
Yeah.
That.
4 to 5 is the class, 5 to 6 is the happy hour, there's gonna be pizza and drinks, so. You got some time, come on by.
Profit Share Summit. So it is October 26th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. That'll be going on here in the training room. So if you want to pop in and out, or listen to certain parts of it, Brian is going to be on that. But again, it'll be here in the training room all day long going on.
That's
So,
central time, so it's 11 to 5 our time.
Perfect.
Just,
Thank you.
I don't want you to come here an hour early. Unless you want to.
Broker class. Anything to add? You got a lot to talk about today, I know. and-
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's October, it's called Lean Up on Aisle 6. Contracts 1 and 2, you know who you are if you haven't come. That's all I'm saying.
She knows who you are
You,
too.
you could write a better contract if you can.
And
Just
I
saying.
would probably be coming to contracts too every month, every time it's offered, because you're gonna pick up something new every time. So if you can put that on your calendar, I would be coming.
Okay.
Oh.
Yoga.
Yoga. Good morning. How's everybody?
Good.
We've got an exciting event coming up. Emma Ferris is going to be joining us here in the training room on November 1st at 4:30, from 4:30 to 5. It is a beginning. All levels are welcome, but it's a beginners. It really is an unwind breathing, extra breathing techniques, stretch, all the things, which I think we could probably all use right about now, a little zen in our life. So join us in the training room. It is free. So please come. I'll be excited to see you there.
Our holiday party is gonna be December 5th at Worthington Hills Country Club. Do we have a time on that yet?
5 to 8.
5 to 8. So it'll be in the same room. You kind of go upstairs where we had it the past couple of years. So we have the same DJ, right?
Yep.
So he was
DJ
good
's
last
back.
year. So Dan, you can be cutting a rug.
That's Tuesday.
I think so.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Okay, I'm super excited for this one. So our 3rd annual wine and cheese tasting is December 8th. And the people voted, so we're gonna do it later in the afternoon, so 3 to 5.
We can really drink.
Yeah. But yeah, Kelly and Courtney again will be present for the wine and cheese tasting, so please mark your calendars. It's a great time.
It's gonna be great.
It's always a great time, so.
So profit share. So we have Aaron Kaufman coming in January after the office meeting. So make sure you block off your time for that. If it's not something you know a whole lot about, he's gonna break down everything, how he does it, all the changes with the profit share model. So make sure you're blocking off that time. It'll be right after the office meeting in January. Family reunion. Who's planning on going to family reunion? Yeah.
Like to.
All right, so it is an awesome time. So I like family reunion even better than mega camp. Last year, I was very sad that it was in Anaheim. Me and Joe were the only two who went from our office, and it was probably the best event I've ever gone to. I'm not biased. They know, even though Sam's wearing Kool-Aid, I don't drink the Kool-Aid. Like if something sucks, I'll tell you it sucks and you shouldn't go to it. Family reunion, if you can go, you should go. It's till early bird, still $7.99. It's in Vegas, so it'll be a good time out there. Yeah. It's at Mandalay Bay. You're not gonna be out there on your own. So what happens is every morning, there's a big keynote speaker, and then you have all kinds of different breakout sessions that you get to pick and choose that you can go to. And then we'll all come together in the evening. You can meet with us if you want to. You don't have to. You can go do your own thing. But we'll have different spots where, okay, we're all going here to have dinner or drinks every single night. So don't feel like you're gonna be out there on your own. And then one night, the office, we do a big office dinner and everything, so. That is the dates, 25th through the 29th. So,
John,
yeah,
let me say one thing about, for anybody, I know people like going to Vegas. They all go to the, the casinos or whatnot, but I've been out there a number of times and for those that have any spare time, go down to Freeman Street because the Freeman Street Experience, those are all the really old casinos down there.
Yeah.
That's a really nice time. And the gem that I've discovered, I became a benefactor and otherwise, is the Neon Sign Museum. It's a nonprofit. They've gotten a lot of the signs from clear back to the 40s and 50s. They've restored them. You can take a walk through the boneyard grave or the boneyard graveyard, I think they call it. But they've restored these signs and they have them out on display and they light them up. And it's really fascinating to see all these big neon signs close up. If you've got any time when you're out there.
What's it called?
It's called the Neon Sign Museum.
maybe we'll do that as a group. Maybe we'll
Yeah.
put something up with that.
You gotta get ready, and they do have walking tours and you should get reservations.
Okay.
Yeah.
For those of you guys who've not been to Mega Camper Family Reunion, I think this is gonna be a really important year for you guys to get some training. Like if you've never gone to any kind of conference, you guys really should. I mean, going into 24, it's gonna be a challenging year. Everyone's saying we're gonna have about 60% of the closed transactions in 24 than we did in 23. So you guys are gonna have to fight for business or go look for another job. And Family Reunion did a great job of telling you what is going on in our market, how to succeed, and things you should be doing on a daily basis. And it's definitely gonna be worth the $800. You can fare and, hotel, but I'm telling you, invest in yourself and it will pay off.
Yeah, that Ed Milet video that we just watched, that was him at Family Reunion last year.
Oh,
So an hour of that you're paying for. So just to give you an idea of what happens there. All right, our luxury agents. So those who don't know, so new qualifications, 4 transactions with a sale price of 600,000 in the last 24 months. Again, if you think you're close, let us know and we'll look that up for you. So with that, we have a whole bunch of luxury agents, so kudos to all of them.
All right, that's me. Entrepreneur Institute, we've got 4 more weeks. Yeah, 4 more weeks and then we'll call it a day until 2024. For those of you that have taught a class, thank you. You guys are awesome. Every single one of you in here has a unique ability and something to share. And I love that we're all coming together and sharing what we know and getting tips and tricks from everybody in the market center. So if you have, like I said, if you've taught, thank you so much. You're making an impact. You really are. If you have not, but you're interested, please let me know. I'd be happy, very happy to get you a spot on the calendar. So again, we've got 4 more weeks. Let's finish up this wrap up 2023 strong. And if you have any feedback or class ideas, maybe something you want to see, let me know that too. I'm always happy to listen for sure. So October 23rd, pulling comps in CMAs with Karen Smith. We've got open houses with the Kelly Snyder. And then we've got Built How with Brian, Glenn, and Zach. And then on the 30th, we've got Know Your Numbers with Joanne. That's always a good one. Finding Your Motivation with Nick. Where's Nick? It's a second class, you guys. Intern extraordinaire. And we've also got You're Only Good as Your Last Deal, why real estate agents should invest in real estate with Zach Cantrell. So we're looking forward to those. And yes, Glenn.
I'm gonna put a little plug in for our talk about Built How. A lot of people don't know what Built How is. Built How is a conference kind of like Mega Camp Family Reunion, put on by Ben Kinney and Chris Flores of Place. Those of you who don't know who Ben Kinney is and who Chris is, they're the #1 and 2 top salespeople, business owners, investors in Keller Williams.
You're worth $1 billion now, Andy.
They're amazing. And so I'm a member of Plays. Brian and Zach also went to Built How with me this year. It was a great experience, and we're just gonna kind of go over what we kind of took away, and again, what they're saying about next year, what they're saying about what you guys need to do in your business, things like that.
Great.
Perfect. Thanks, Glenn.
Yeah.
Real quick. So because I talk to a lot of agents and I hear constantly, I don't want to do open houses, I don't want to do open houses. How much money have you made from open houses this year?
A lot.
1 month, you had what, like almost 2.5 million just from open houses in contract? Yeah. So give you an idea, they work.
Yeah, and my open house course or this hour is really gonna be focused on driving traffic, because right now it's not good. And so I'm really gonna focus on how to drive traffic to your open house.
Great.
We need to get, we're gonna get better with our titles of these classes so that you know exactly what you're stepping into, but yeah, that'll be a great one as well.
And they're
Awesome.
every Monday at 11 AM. If you would have came to the time blocking class, you would have learned how you can schedule around certain hours, so you can control your schedule. So it should be in your calendar every Monday at 11 AM.
A couple of suggestions. Some of these classes are so good that they should be put on twice. And second of all, they could be also videoed so that those who could not, like example, I could not go to your class for the videos that we were talking about. It was my idea to have that. It was Rosh Hashanah, I mean, Yom Kippur, so there was no way I could come. I was praying to come to your class. But anyway, I think that's a couple of suggestions that I had.
Yes, so we will do them over and over again. We keep track. So when we ask you guys to sign in, that's what we're keeping track of. And then every Tuesday morning, we break down leadership on the huddle, what was a good one, what one we need to do again. Video, we are probably not gonna do video because the whole point is for you to come into the office. And we know as soon as we start doing video, what are you guys gonna do?
Say no.
So that's why we don't do video. So. You do more, you're more productive when you're in the office. It's just a given, so.
Right.
All right, we got some icebreakers to share with you. They're first closing here at KWCP. We've got Eileen Pilcher. Colleen Burko. And Snowy Tucker. Great job. Great job.
Okay, so our VIP spot is the top 5% of our, in our office. And Patrick, if you win, we're gonna have. Sorry. Said Patrick, if you win, we're spinning again. So I'm gonna shuffle it so y'all see that. It's not rigged, I promise. Yeah, so ready, set, go. It's Patrick, oh my.
There we go. All right. Very. If you have an idea for us to do this, we try and come up with different groups every month, so it's not the same people over and over again. Just so happens, P-Flow is a pretty cool guy, he falls in all these different categories, so. All right, our home run agents, we got Georgia Hart with 12 listings taken. Taylor Colin with 8 contracts written. And Jeff Mahler with 8 contracts closed. September cappers, Colleen Burko and Zach Cantrell. Then our top individual agents, number 5, we got Kathy Nelson at 1.2. Sue Van Workum at 1.5. Denise Fade at number 3 with a little over 2 million. Stephanie Kuna Evans at 2.3. Number 1, Jeff Mahler at 3.6. All right, our top teams. Number 4, Sheer Home Group, just over $1 million. Number 3, Meg Martin Group at 1.2. Number 2, Klein Cameron Team at 1.3. And number 1, Suzanne Casey and Associates at just under 2 million. We gotta get Clover up there too. All right, our top groups. Number 5, Key Advantage Group at 2.7. Number 4, Generations Home Team at 2.8. Number 3, LDR at 3.5. REIT Equity at 4.2. Number 1, Labuda Team at 4.6. Well, Kelly's open houses.
Our November calendar is up. We do have some extra calendars in the back when you walk out, so that is all set for you guys. So I know it's almost November. It's crazy. It's kind of wild. Yeah. Like that. So I'm still doing classes on Mondays in the afternoon, so you can time block for Entrepreneur Institute, and then you can time block at 3. So this last few months or last quarter of the year, I'm really focusing on mindset, on value. This is all the prep work that you do to take you into 2024, to get you ready for the spring market, to get you moving. I don't know if Taylor's here today. I don't see him, but was it last Monday? I taught the database assessment playbook and I named it something about profitability, and Taylor comes in and he goes, I thought we were talking about profit, Rachel. I said, yeah, Taylor, your database is your profit. So your profit is in your database. So definitely take some time to dedicate yourself to these classes, not just my classes, anything that you can get your hands on and provide you time, because you don't fully, I don't think you fully understand the graphs of what that can do for you longevity wise. You know, it just takes one conversation or hearing one person speak or hearing somebody say it a different way than what you learned last time for it to click in your head, for it to launch you into success or to hit that goal or to go wherever you want to go. So don't skip out on these coming into the end of the year. So
Video.
yes, I do record these just because they're on Zoom anyways, since I facilitate multiple market centers for these. So if you can't get it there, I'll either meet with you or I'll send you the recording. So building your value as an agent, this is going to be huge coming into with all of the madness going on and just as the market is going. So definitely check that out. Did you have a question, Laura? No. Oh, okay. Taking your business to the next level. So kind of knowing where you're at and if it's time for you to grow or change or pivot, anything will be on November 13th. And then the 27th is your path through success. So I want to make sure that you are aware of every opportunity you have under the Keller Williams umbrella, because being an agent is not your only option. So there are other streams, there's other ways, there's other things that I want to make you aware of. So that's what we'll encompass that day.
If you haven't been to one of Rachel's classes, go. They're awesome. It's well worth your time.
Thank you. I paid her to say that. So for the new agent websites, if you've updated yours, I want to make you aware of something, especially as you are hopefully driving your clients to this. When you go to your site, and this is not anything you have to turn on, it's there by default. You have the ability to change the language of your website for your clients to see that, or they can change it if English is not their first language. So there's this little, without standing in front, there's this little globe up here in the top right hand corner of your site. And when they click on that, there are like, I think there's like 20 some different languages in this drop down. And when they click on that, that converts to whatever language they show. So they can look at listings, they can look at different properties, all of that information that you would see on your site, they can see it in their primary language if they so choose. So I want to make sure you guys were aware of that. So
That's an amazing thing.
Yes.
It is.
Yep. Yeah, I love that they did that. You can also do it in command for your stuff, like for you personally. It doesn't, like all the designs and stuff like that, it doesn't convert those yet. But if English is not your first language, or you know a KW agent that English is not their primary language, or they're more comfortable with another language, they can convert command itself to be in another language. So, yeah.
Thanks, Rachel.
Oh, I almost forgot. So the K-SCORE Keller Williams School of Real Estate is supposed to be unofficially coming in November. They said not October, but before December. So, so if you know anybody who wants to get into real estate, or maybe their life hasn't dealt them much wealth, but really kickstarting into real estate, this is a huge opportunity for them. What this does is gives them a scholarship for their pre-licensure classes, so that 120-hour coursework that you have to take. So if you know of anybody who would be a good fit for this, please give me their contact information and I will get them going. It's not active yet, but there is a couple steps that they have to do with something called KW Prep, which is more mindset in the actual business to make sure this is the right fit for them. So they can get started in that while we wait for this. And I do KPA validations. I do all the things with them because I want to make sure they know what they're getting into, because that's just going to set them up for success in the long run. So if you know anybody who would benefit from having a real estate license, please let me know. And that goes for all of our vendors and everybody too. If you know anybody, they are not guaranteed that they have to join our brokerage. Obviously, we would love for them to be here, but if we're not the right fit for them, we will get them to the right place. So let me know. Or maybe, oh, I'm doing Joanne's too. I forgot.
Joanne too.
Yeah. I'm Joanne today because she is out. If you have your card that you have on file for your office bills, if for any reason it expires, gets compromised, just let her know. We have a form you can fill out, or just pop in her office. I understand not sharing that information over an email. We would never ask you to do that, but just so she doesn't have to call you. Same goes with it being towards the end of the year. Any information that you need to update, if you moved, anything like that, make sure we have the most accurate information for you. That way, at 1099s and all the things start coming out, we have all the information. We also still have Lolo. So this is your way to give clients or past clients, potential clients, whomever you want, really nice gifts that cost you pennies on the dollar. I think it's $1.25 per recipient per month. And they get, like, one of them was like a scone and a coffee coupon. I mean, that's like $15 right now. So definitely check that out. It's a great client touch, and it's going to cost you next to nothing compared to what they get. So, and they do try to go from local businesses.
I started to use this after I talked to you, and clients do love it. You know, they don't necessarily take advantage of it. Very many I've had that, but so many of them text me or call me and let me know they received it and they're happy. You know, so it's not about if they're going to use it or not. That's not the point. It's the interaction with them that it makes happen.
How many did you send out?
I sent out 107, well, no, I sent out 163. And honest to goodness, I've never had this kind of open rate, and it's happened in 2 months. I had a 72% open rate,
Wow.
which is amazing, right?
No, were these all past comments?
Yeah. Yeah, and so it's a very inexpensive way to keep touching base.
And the minimum, I believe, is 25.
Okay.
And you don't have to send it every month. If she has 100 and you said 170, 160, maybe she takes 50 one month, 50 the next month, and does it that way and rotates it. But now is a good time to put that in your
For next year.
plan for next year, right? Okay.
So thank you, Jennifer, for bringing this to the market center. Yes, it's been incredible. And yeah, so if you have any more detailed questions, want more details, reach out to Joanne and she'll get back to you Monday.
Yeah, and the link is on our daily snaps. Yes. So you should probably go and find it there too as well. So
Awesome. Now that's it.
Okay, so it's housekeeping. Today, because in November, we get to have a Thanksgiving feast. So, we had some do's and don'ts,
from Daphne Hawk, our superintendent, and also from Kristen Rosen, a real estate attorney who works very closely with realtors. And we're gonna go over those in Broker Corner in detail. On the listing agreement, I updated it 8/29. Please use that one. We took the other one out, but here's what you do, you save your stuff. And you have your stuff somewhere else that I can't control. Delete that. And use the new listing agreement that has the yes or no, the seller allowing buyers to be in their home without an agent. Okay, particularly during home inspections. Please use that. Now, the exclusive broker waiver, as I've said for the last 2 months, there has been a change. The form is no longer required to be sent to MLS. It still is required to be signed. They've incorporated the form into the board's listing agreement, but we don't use that. So those brokerages, and there are many that use their own listing agreement, still use the form, but it's on our system. That doesn't mean you don't get it signed. Okay? Okay. So it's a discussion point. You say to the sellers, if we're not going on the public market yet, this is what we call, this is how you explain it to them. This is what we call broker exclusive time while you're getting ready. What that means to you, this is you talking to them, is that I personally could sell it, if you permit that, or anyone in my company could bring you a buyer. That's called the exclusive time, free market. If you want to do that, we'll discuss more about that and how we'll do it and how we'll prep it. And we have something called the Airtable to let our agents know about it. That's how you explain that period of time before we're going public. Everybody clear? It is easy to explain that. Not everybody wants people in their house though, until they're ready. There are the perfectionists in the world that just are uncomfortable with it. That's fine. That's all part of your presentation and you discuss it. But we still need the form and it's got to be signed by them and me, so I see that you did it. And then load it into Command. Yeah? Everybody cool? So we don't need to send the form to MLS and you get this letter and then you send it to me. And did you know about this, Lori? Yes, I did. I did. Holding open houses for other brokerages. I get asked this all the time and I've decided to make a broker decision. No. There are all kinds of issues with that.
Yep.
It's fraught with agency because I know this and I know it. I wish I didn't know it, but I know that you won't discuss the proper agency words at that open house. I know that won't get done. Because the person who comes in that open house thinks you're with that house. Perception is everything, and the division won't listen to anything else. While they don't forbid it, I am. Okay. Have at it with each other. You have plenty of each others here in the market. Okay, so that's that. RPD exemptions and cheat sheet. So thank you, Bobby. She said, well, I use this cheat sheet. I said, tell me about that. Where is this cheat sheet? And lo and behold, I got it. So listen, before you call me and say, is this exempt? How about we turn to the back of the thing and we look at what is and what isn't, huh? Amazing. So sale of a mobile home that has no land or real estate is not necessary for an RPD. I didn't even know that. I might have known it, so I forgot it. I don't know. So there's a cheat sheet here. Please don't call me about POAs anymore. POAs are not exempt. They're not. Okay, and nobody's a POA for a dead person. Okay? POAs are for alive people. Okay, not dead person. I get that question all the time. This is an estate and they have a POA to sign. No, they don't. Estate means somebody what? All right, so we got housekeeping coming up in Broker Corner. See you later.
Oh. You want to talk about market share?
Oh, yes.
I thought about this one.
Oh, my God, some of you got a sneak peek of this, because I was teaching contracts too, and I happen to have the hot little report off the press. We got it. We went back up to number 3. That number 4 bugged the heck out of me. That was cheating. Merging the Dublin and Arlington offices, Coldwell Banker. Cheating, cheaters. Anyway, we're back here. Look at these numbers. Let's flip it up. Here we are. 154 units for September, okay? And we are smidge under 400,000 for average price. Okay? For days on the market, ours are creeping up. 34, we're seeing that, yeah? Yeah. Now, there's a reason why something is only 14 days on the market. Look at the price. You see correlations? You see, you really need to look at these numbers every month and see what they say.
Can I say something about it?
You can.
So I know this is contrary to what we're always told. When you first come into the business, what are you supposed to get?
Listings.
Right? And you should still get listings because you can generate business off those. But do you remember a couple months ago when I said, if I were in your seat, I'd be going after every buyer I possibly could right now? More buyers than listings, 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 more buyers than listings.
But see, we're closer. We are, we're better at listing than the average brokerage.
But do you see
Much
where
better.
that's going?
Right.
Build that pipeline. Because if a listing sits, you still have buyers that are closing.
Okay, up. What do we got? Year to date? There we are. And then the flip side. So as of the end of September, reported sales through the MLS for us were 1,477.5. Okay, and then for the last 12 months. It's the next one. We don't,
only do those
we only do those 2. Okay, so we look at a running 12 months too. I look to see for trends. But that's our market share right now. So glad to see us going back up, and we will keep going where? Up.
All right, so wrapping up here quick. So TCPA. You have to check the do not call list before you make calls. We have to tell you that. We just got signed up for it, right? You guys know more about this. I saw the email, but
Yeah, Joanne signed the office up, so you have access to it. It's not gonna cost you anything. We already have the 5 set area codes. And I'm not gonna 614-740-937-419, and there's another one. I don't remember what it is.
it was the most popular ones that we
330,
would
I think,
use and see
maybe.
here. So
So those are like the most popular that are local to us. So we'll get that login information out so you can check it before you're making your calls, because I know you all do that. You don't violate those laws. If you've ever been to Bold with Michael Flores, you will learn a phone number that was given to him by the physical homeowner from a door knock. He got fined $13,000 for that because he was on the do not call list. So food for thought, that is serious and real. So we're trying to get you all the things so that doesn't happen to any of you.
alrighty, Capital Partners Cares, 3 ways to give: automatic deductions, one-time donation, and donate by check. So if you want to give money to KW Cares, let us know. We'll make sure there's a way that we can do that. Ohio Realtors, the support line, tech support, somebody. Might have been Lori Alsace was asking me and she was laughing because I told her they helped you with your toaster or whatever it was.
Exactly.
So, if you have an issue, call us. You're paying your dues. So they're gonna try and help you. And if they can't, then that's when you go to Geek Squad or whatever it might be. So,
They are phenomenal. I've talked to them and they've helped me here in the office too, so.
all right, with that, we have Jackie and Scott, who are our lunch sponsors today. You guys want to come up?
All right, well, let me put the outfit on here. Thanks for having us. I am the loan shark, Scott Shakespeare. With Tithe Lending. This is the cash out cow. My wife, Jackie Shakespeare, also lending manager. And then Do a Deal with Tithe Dragon, our CEO, Mark Greaves. So thanks again for all the support, Josh. I know Brian's in Austin, Nicole, and all the support staff and all the agents that we have been meeting with and working with over the last few months. So we're going to introduce ourselves a little bit today, talk about Tithe. And for those of you who have not met with us before, we'll have a calendar up here ready to do one-on-ones if you'd like. But again, thank you for your support. And without further ado, we're going to hand it over to Mark here. Our CEO is going to talk a little bit about how he came to start Tithe.
Yeah, I'll be quick. I had to take this off. So I feel like I'm a high school kid in a trash bag, like trying to make money for a wrestling match or something. So if I pass out, this thing is hot. I've got a 9 and a 7-year-old though. So I actually have an embarrassingly large number of like giant costumes. So I read this on your wall. I took a picture and I apologize. I got you in the picture. So I have this like weird creepy picture now on my phone, but it says Keller Williams Realty's changed what I believe the company can bring to people's lives. That's what it said in your guys' culture statement there. Raise your hand if you actually believe that. Who believes that statement? Okay, cool. So what I'm hoping to do today is give you guys a little bit of a background on how we do that through mortgage transactions. So I'm going to go a couple practical examples. I'll let Scott and Jackie talk about actual loan specifics and some of the programs and pricing and some of the ways that we're winning for customers now. But the reason we started this company was because we wanted more out of our work. We wanted to incorporate a little bit of our faith, a little bit of our values, and our desire to go help the community and those that are most in need right here in Columbus through what we do every single day. So our mission is to honor God by being excellent at lending, but then it's to go love our neighbor in our community. So we're all here in this room. We create neighbors for a living. But it's not just you guys that are a piece of that transaction. It's not just the vendors that are a piece of that transaction. It's not the customers who are placing into homes and helping them get financing. There's a lot of people in our community around us in Columbus that are in a lot of need. And I've had a really nice opportunity over the last year to get to know a lot of these nonprofits, a lot of great work being done. And boy, do they need fuel, because we all know what's going on in the environment. Inflation's kicking up, things cost more. There's more people in need than ever before. And it's not just the typical homeless stuff that you think about. There's all kinds of opportunities that we can go make a real difference in people's lives. I'll give you a couple. This is our tagline though. I'm gonna mention this. Oh, that felt good. Mortgage on a mission. For every mortgage company I've been at in the past, this is my 18th year doing this, mortgage was the mission. That was what it was. If you read any of our mission statements, most of them just kind of read, this is what we do. We want to do it really well. Our plan is to do a lot more of it for as long as we can. That was kind of like what the mission statement boiled down to. For us, mortgage is the central piece of our company. And we do a very, very good job at it. We've got a lot of really good industry pros and veterans to help your customers every single day. But that's really where our mission starts. So a tithe is a 10% offering, and that's what we do. So 10% of every top line before we pay for an employee or an expense, before we pay for a tax, every single transaction, 10% of that top line revenue goes into Tithe Foundation, which isn't in competition with other nonprofits. Tithe Foundation runs parallel. Our job is to go fuel a lot of the good work that's already happening in and around town. So mortgage revenue is pretty good. So every deal we do between $500 and $1,000, sometimes more than that, it's a big loan amount, goes into our charities, and we can go help our partners. Give you two practical ways that that's happened here recently. Just actually the last one that we did last month is we're sponsoring a counseling position through Grace Haven. Anybody know what Grace Haven is? Raise your hand if you do. Yeah, pretty awesome work, huh? It's actually the only place in Ohio where kids like youth that get rescued out of sex trafficking, go and get counseled and housed. I mean, really, their options are they go to juvenile hall, they go into foster systems, they go elsewhere. Grace Haven is the only place that these girls can go, and it's extremely expensive. Because when you're dealing with girls that are under the age of 18, there's a lot of regulations and compliance that it takes. So they have to have 6 full-time staff members for every 4 girls on site. So you gotta have 2 full-timers, and it's 24 hours a day, so it's 3 shifts. So as soon as they cross over in that 5th girl that's in that place, they gotta basically double their staff, and it's extremely expensive to do that. So we're sponsoring positions so they can continue to grow and serve more kids. Hope Center out in Marysville, we are actually able to, Hope Center serves, and this is actually a mind-boggling statistic. They serve over 250 homeless meals a night right now, the Hope Center does. And they do it out of this church, the Nazarene Church. They don't even have a facility. So it's all volunteer. So they're scrambling up there to try to meet needs of the homeless community in that whole northwest section of Columbus. They didn't have a walk-in freezer. They had gotten kicked out of a school that they were operating out of because the district needed it back. So they have volunteers and restaurants that are sponsoring their freezer space that Mid-Ohio is dropping food off, and they're going to volunteers every single day, taking it back to their own houses and then having to bring it on site to create 250 meals. So it's a really taxing thing that was happening, and they were at risk of losing their volunteers and be able to produce that. So we were able to come together. We bought them a $25,000 walk-in freezer for that service to really go and assist that. Our team, we're on site. So a lot of these pictures that you see here on the wall, we're on site every single week. It isn't just about the money for us. Our team, the reason we care so much and we're so passionate about our mission and why we have to be so good at mortgage just to fuel more of this is because our hearts are connected to the people. We're there and we can actually see it. So the transactions that we facilitate, homeless are eating because of our business, girls are getting counseling because of our business, there's education scholarships happening because of our business. So it's just a very, very simple way that when we do work together and we meet the need for a customer, we're also going and meeting a real tangible specific need right here in our community for the people who need it most. So that's the premise. That's what we're here for. That's why we exist. But we know we got to be really, really good at the first part before we can do any of the second part. So I'll kick it over to you guys and
Awesome.
yeah, take it away.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. We're doing a lot of great work. There's a lot of reasons why Jackie and I joined Hive. Good programs, good rates, incentive programs, good support locally, good marketing. But the number one reason is that mission that Mark just spoke about. And it's pretty powerful. So thank you, Mark. A lot of people, again, we've met with you before, but for those of you who don't know Jackie and myself, just a quick little bio about us. For me, I'm from Dayton, Ohio, born and raised. Father owned a construction company growing up. My mom was actually a Keller Williams agent as well. So like to say I was a little bit born into real estate, and that's where I've gotten my passion for what we do. From there, studied finance at Ohio University, and then got a certificate of financial planning. And all of those studies really are incorporated in my day-to-day in terms of giving a consultative approach to your clients and giving that holistic view of finances as your buyers are purchasing homes. From there, right out of college, actually started working for Mark. So another reason why we joined is very familiar with Mark and his leadership, a lot of trust there. And so we worked together for a few years on East Campus View, right behind here, and a call center atmosphere, had a lot of fun. And then we went our separate ways. Mark actually went off and started Lower.com from startup to where it is today. And then myself and Jackie actually went to Keller Mortgage and worked there for 6 years. So as your in-house lender, we were helping out Keller agents on purchase transactions nationwide for 6 years. And then all of a sudden I started following Mark on social media and all the good stuff that he was doing, decided to spark up a conversation, and 10 days after we were onboarding. So it was pretty quick. So
I closed it.
Yeah. Do a deal with the dragon, he closes.
Yeah, I'll close the deal.
Yeah.
Good closer.
Yeah.
Yes. And you know, here's my cash out cow here.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jackie Caspear. I'm from the Cleveland, Ohio area. Went to college at OU as well. Kind of thought I was going to be a real estate agent. I took all 4 classes and then somehow just ended up in a call center working in mortgage as my first job for this guy.
It wasn't that bad.
I was terrible in the call center, but it all worked out. So now working again for him, met my husband. So like I said, it's all good. It all worked out. But I worked for Keller Mortgage as well. I was a loan officer pretty much my whole career. And then Scott met up with Mark. Scott comes home and says, "We're joining Tide." I said, "Sounds good." So here we are. Let's switch. So
4 main reasons to use us. So our turn time. So a little bit out to date, but our most recent clear to close was done in 9 business days. We know how volatile the market is, how tricky it is to get deals done these days. So speed is of need right now. Communication, we'll keep you informed every single step of the way. The beauty of working as a team with Scott and I is that 2 heads are better than 1. If one of us isn't available, the other one surely is. It's very rare that we're not available. We make ourselves available 24/7 to you guys. This is not a 9 to 5 job. You all know that. We're available on the weekends. You want to call me at 9 o'clock at night, I'll be there. Rates and fees, we're priced below the market. We're not spending money on advertisements. We're not spending money on us going to a team happy hour. Our primary goal is obviously to give to charity. So we want to keep our costs as low as possible so that we can achieve our mission, which is just 10% of giving back. That way we can serve our nonprofit partners.
Awesome. All right, and I'm going to talk a little bit about our products and incentive programs. We're just like any other lender where we offer the standard, right? Conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, the main bulk of products. But some of these products that we have listed here have really stood out to us and some agents and also buyers in the market. So first of all, we are partnered with Homes for Heroes. So for law enforcement, veterans, EMS, firefighters, and teachers, we do offer free appraisals for those in those professions with Homes for Heroes. If you're an agent and you're not partnered with Homes for Heroes, that's okay. They still get the incentive through us of getting a free appraisal if they're in one of those professions. The conventional 1% down program, not very many lenders in Columbus offer this, but I know a few do. It's actually a 3% down payment program, but we come in and offer a 2% forgivable grant at closing, a maximum of $4,000. So it's been a very popular product. You have to be a first-time home buyer and below the average median income limits. And there's some other qualifications that we can talk to you about. But it's really helped first-time home buyers with affordability in terms of getting into homes with lower cash to close. And again, most down payment assistance programs like OFA and statewide programs make you pay the grant back within 5 to 10 years if you sell or refinance. We all know in this market in the next 12 to 18 months, inevitably, most folks are going to be refinancing. And so through those grant programs, they're eating away at their equity. They have to pay that back. Through the 1% down, it's forgivable at the closing table. And I can tell you for certain it's not built into the rate. It's the same rate as like a home ready product or any other 3% down conventional product. It's just that we're giving away free money essentially to first-time home buyers. And then we are partnered recently with Telhio on a 5/1 ARM product. Super, super exciting partnership and product. And actually, I'm gonna pass off to Mark to talk a little bit about.
Yeah, I want to touch just quick on price because I feel like we were asked, we did some focus groups before we started the company, and people said, "Are you just going to overcharge me so that you can say that you give?" So we knew right off the bat we couldn't do that. A lot of people thought that we were crazy starting a mortgage company in 2023, like one of the worst statistical years since I've been born. Which is great. But what it did was it allows us to go out and have our cost structure set up as a company with today's environment, where a lot of lenders are dealing with legacy cost structure and overhead that they took on when times were different. Well, now they can't get out of. I mean, that could be something as simple as a lease on a big giant corporate, location. It could be a corporate company like a stadium. It could be a lot of different things. It could be salaries. It could be they did software or seat licenses where there's minimums in those contracts. And when production's way out ahead of the minimums, you never think it's going to come and play. But all of a sudden now, when production's down here, those minimums are eating up a lot of revenue. So in order to stay afloat, you got to squeeze more revenue out of every transaction. But we don't have any of that legacy problem. We get to set up our costs as it is today. So we don't have to pass any of that on to the customer, which has been great. Specifically for VA and FHA borrowers, if you do have a veteran, not only are Homes for Heroes, but we don't add any margin and revenue to our government lending. Almost every lender out there does, almost anybody I've ever been does. So they try to juice those margins on government lending. So we don't do that. It's the same margins as our conventional loans. I haven't seen it yet where we don't beat somebody by a half point rate. So if somebody's offering 7.75, we'll be at 7.25. 7.25, we're at 6.75. I mean, it's been half point or more for government lending. So you can be confident in the pricing. The Telhio relationship is really special. We're one of 2 lenders that they've partnered with here in the city. Most lenders right now have a pretty abysmal ARM product. People don't want the ARMs. They know that they're going to refi off the book. People aren't really doing that. Ours is really, really strong. So right now, if you have a customer and they're doing a 30-year fixed and they're somewhere in the low 8s, with another lender on a 30-year fix, we're gonna be in the low 7s with no points. And they just got to refinance, which we do free refinancing, no tied fees, but they got to refinance basically by the start of 2029. So from a price perspective, we've got you covered. Specifically, if you're doing an FHA or a VA borrower, I mean, we're probably going to obliterate the competition's price. That's not just trying to be cocky, that's just because we don't add anything to those margins, and that's the truth. So I would just have them check it out and see. But yeah, the Ohio product for your conventional borrowers is really strong.
Awesome. And then, yeah, here's another incentive. Essentially, this is a flyer that we can give to agents for your listings. So on your listings, we do offer free appraisals for buyers of your listings. We're all about making sure we partner with you, right, to protect your commissions, right, protect your list price, help grow your business. There's multiple ways to do it, and this is a great way to incentivize a buyer, right, and especially when you're in some heavy negotiating. There's some other things like a 2-1 buy down that a lot of lenders can offer, right? But it really matters what kind of loan officer you're partnering with on some of these conversations to have a high level, overview of how we can benefit you and your listings. But this is also another great incentive. And then last slide. This is how you can work with us. So you can scan the QR code. We do have some business cards back there. We've got also John Diefendorfer in the back. He's partnering with a couple of agents, in this office. We do have other loan officers that I think some of you work with as well. So we're a team. So ultimately, there's other lenders in this room as well. We're not asking for all of your business, but ultimately, Gary says partner with a lender, right? Partner with multiple lenders. Challenge you guys to come up to us after this. Let's schedule a one-on-one, get to know each other a little bit better, and see how we can be, value add for your business.
I saw you guys are doing the business plan. I love the meeting. I mean, this was great stuff. If anybody wants to meet, I'm happy to do so as well. So if you look at your 2024 and what your game plan is, and you want to see how we can help, we've been a big help to a lot of our existing agents who have partnered with us early on some of the things that are happening around town. Because what I see a lot of display for agents, it's like, okay, this is what we do. This is when you need us. This is where to find us. But we've really been help them coordinate. This is why we care. This is how we do it. This is who we are. So when people can, tell what you do in the community and like doing business with you fuels some of these things, it's been a help for their business with those kind of audiences. So we'd be happy to do that.
Last thing I'll add is, if you believe in our mission, right, giving back to the community, talk to us more about our foundation and the different charities that we're helping out. We're also volunteering. We do need help with volunteering, specifically the Hope Center in Marysville. But ultimately we can't accomplish our mission without you, right? So we do need you just as much as you need a solid lender in your business. So other than that, it's been a pleasure getting up here and meeting you all, and enjoy the Chick-fil-A. I know everyone's hungry. It's been a long meeting, but Josh and everyone, thanks for having us again.
Thank you.
Smells really good too. So make sure we're going out the back. I mess this up every month. Out the back and in the side, so you don't drive Nicole crazy. And then important stuff in Broker Corner. So make sure you're coming back.
So our next meeting is November 16th. That's our Friendsgiving. So I will be sending out a sign-up sheet for the food after this meeting. So there you go.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, you guys.
Yeah, speaking of the house.
Well, we gotta get it figured out for sure.
It's been a lot.
Mediator.
You're doing fine.
You need to be there.
They're excited for this. So I always.
People stuff like it.
And when she like. What's what I do? Doing.
We're meeting with her pioneer guy.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay, all from Mexico.
Your advice? I don't think everybody is growing.
Yeah.
You know? You like your finance person or do you do it yourselves?
We have a guy at,
But I've seen.
and we have another guy at Wells. And then Ken kind of, because that's, he does estate planning for
Yeah.
the farmers, but he always wants other eyes on
Other stuff.
but yeah, because it's part of his real estate practice.
That's true.
He does, but we won't do it like. He said, my position, he's trying to practice on this.
She's up there.
I don't. I mean. I've been thinking that we would be better off doing it than. So,
She's good. She's a good agent.
Right. Alright, I'm gonna get water.
Watch the,
This is.
I have some.
And house I have in contract. I had covenant the guy getting me the form, the deposit form. And, so he sent me a receipt, but it's an account number, how do I even know it's their account? It's just like, so.
Send him the form and say, please sign this.
I
That's
do.
all I can do.
I do. And he says, well, my broker signs those and she didn't work on the weekends, so. It'll be nice. And it's red line.
Yeah, figures.
Yeah, and I thought, like,
So,
you know, I thought all the time, I mean, that you in all the time, any and every time.
he doesn't.
He said
Which is why they're,
it would be Monday.
they're always filling that form.
Yeah, and never the biggest.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Oh, nice.
I've learned something. I've always told you.
Well, you kicked it out.
That people all about this. And, I don't have that.
Say.
Yeah, it's true.
Good.
He's a good, yeah.
He's been there a couple of years. One. And she ended up connecting with an old high school friend.
Hi, everybody out there in TV land.
But probably.
All right, I'll do the chat.
You
Thanks.
never know.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started because I know it's late and my 45 minutes now became 25 minutes. So, but it's important for me to clean up some stuff before the end of the year. I do it every October in case you hadn't known that, but if this is your first October, it's cleanup time on aisle 6. So, some do's and don'ts also from the division. So let me give you a scenario. We really need attorney advice on something, as in our clients need attorney advice. And we call our attorney and relay that information. That is a no-no. That is a no-no. Attorneys advise clients. We're not go-betweens. No more doing that, okay? And I know people who do it, so don't. Okay, they're not free, neither are you. Let that sink in. Right? Right, okay. All right, back to this pre-signing an agency agreement with a seller. Why is this happening? Why are we seeing these attached to MLS listings? Quote from the division. When we see that, we know that agent and brokerage know nothing. So if you have a complaint at the division, they look at everything that you do. And when we see that, this is their quote, we know that brokerage knows nothing. Can a seller pre-sign an agency disclosure? No. It's a disclosure from a buyer's agent and buyer to the seller. We already know who represents your seller. You don't have to plug that in an envelope. You are the listing agent. You represent that seller. Where are agents getting these ideas? It's all about their convenience factor, not what the law is. While I'm on that, we do not sign a team disclosure from a co-op. It makes no difference to our client about that co-op's team. We don't care.
There's some that are requiring it.
They require it, but the state doesn't. We're not, we aren't in the obedience school for them. You have two people to obey, me and your client. And of course, your parents. But not the other side of the transaction is not your boss. They're incorrect in requiring that. Yeah, Larry.
So the conundrum that I faced with that.
Yeah.
Is that you've got an agent and they put those things in there and they're hoping that you sign it. And if you start kicking back on some of those things and you're in a multiple offer situation, you suddenly have compromised your client because that agent
Well,
is
first of
saying
all,
this guy's gonna be trouble.
You get your offer accepted before that.
Yeah, but
Your
I'm-
seller doesn't have to sign that.
No, I'm saying that if I've got the buyer
Okay,
Okay, but a lot of these agents are not doing anything with the offers unless you send them all of their paperwork first.
and that's incorrect. I'm gonna speak with their broker.
Well, that's too bad because my clients lost the deal in the meantime
See,
while we're waiting to talk to the.
Then
broker.
we're encouraging inaccurate
I
behavior.
understand that, but how are we supposed to fight that, especially again like?
Well, I gotta tell you this, there's a little clue. You're not gonna be in amongst 40 offers.
Even if it's 2 or 3 though. I mean, that's the conundrum, because I don't wanna, I don't wanna.
So we have, I mean,
come across
this
as
is
being a
not,
typical
so
agent.
this is like 1 or 2 agents that are doing this, correct?
And they do it consistently.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know who they are. They sat, one of them was in the meeting with the division
Oh,
and
really?
the attorney and heard that.
Oh,
But they don't go back and change their behavior.
They don't.
Yeah. I mean, it
That's
doesn't
number one.
happen often, but it's been a discussion.
It's a pain, but it's not right.
Right.
We're in the business of doing things correctly and lawfully and ethically, aren't we? Okay, remember I told you this is October, it's cleanup. So how do we fill out an agency disclosure when we're on a team? On the agency disclosure form, anyone who on your teams that is working with that client goes there, not the name of your team. The team isn't licensed, the team name. So if the team lead has a listing, for instance, it's Rachel. She is the team lead, she's on there, she has to be on there. All the team leads have to be on there, and then the other agent assigned to that client. Both those names. Not 65 people on the team. The people who are going to be interacting with that other agent. Got it? Not Millennium Group on the agency disclosure. Would be her name and maybe Lisa's name. That's how the other side can report it to MLS correctly if you filled out the agency disclosure form correctly. You wouldn't have this problem where you have to go back in and get credit. That's what has to happen, okay? So clean up on that. I get asked, I'm just gonna do paperwork for these people and charge a flat fee. There is no such thing as just doing paperwork in the eyes of the division. You are agent for somebody in that transaction. Has nothing to do with how much you're getting paid. It's agency. Agency is everything, in case you hadn't figured this out. If you haven't got a handle on agency and all its nuances and what paperwork is right, anything about that, that is square one. That is square one. That is Article 1 of your Code of Ethics. That is state law. Discussing agency. Before you open your open houses, before you have got to have a handle on agency, and you must discuss it out loud. Agency. So you have to know everything about agency. You have to know what part of the form you fill out when you only represent one side. So it's a for sale by owner. So I see things like filling out the name of the for sale by owner when it clearly says 2 agents in a transaction, and you put Bisbo's name as one of those. They weren't a name. Are we reading the form? Or unrepresented or self. No, there's no such thing as self up there at the top of the form, okay? There was only one licensed agent in the transaction with a Bisbo. That's to the bottom of the form, and it's you representing your buyer. Okay, everybody good? We know what to do on a form? So why do we send them in wrong? Just asking. No such thing as just doing paperwork. You have to be agent for whatever side. Well, I have these buyers and they're going to buy, they've identified a property and they want me to just do paperwork. No. We don't have that classification of license in our state. There's no such thing. Like in Colorado, they have something called a facilitator license. Paper pushers. In our state, we only recognize advice and agency. Okay, everybody good there? When we need to do a rescission of an offer before that offer has been accepted, we do that by email, not text. Email, traceable. I would rather you did not negotiate anything by text. If you do, it's got to be followed by hard email. Okay. And if you're doing it by phone and there's no follow-up in paper, shame on you. Okay, because the division says that has to be saved for the 3 years as well as the transaction documents. Everybody good? I'm trying to go as fast as I can. Never, ever, ever forward client email to the other side. Ever.
Morning, I had something, I went to my seller client and said, may I forward it?
I still wouldn't do it.
He said, yes. Is that okay?
We got his permission, but did you get it? Did you get it in writing?
I got it by an email.
That he,
Did I sign it?
no,
Got it
it's
by
just
an
dangerous to do that.
Got it.
Because the other side now has that seller's email at the very least.
Okay, gotcha.
It's
What
bad,
should I do?
bad.
Well, what you can do is
I got his email address?
copy and paste. And say,
Just
this is
don't
information I
forward
received from
is
the
what I
seller.
said. Don't
And copy
forward
and paste.
the email.
Buyer wanted my client to vacate the 4-unit property prior to closing the condition of sale. My guy wrote a long email, why did they?
That's like, that's a part of a contract.
She didn't write a contract, did she?
No.
Came back by email.
There you go. Don't do it.
Great broker can between the eight.
Don't do it.
Every screenshot, attach and send it to the other agents.
From our clients. I don't like doing that. I mean, I just don't. Of course, we'd have to, you know, some things need cleaned up. Some stuff could be nasty. I don't know. I'm not a fan. Are you a fan?
It depends what is in the text message. And if you do that, be very, very careful. You have only clicked on that particular text message and not sent a longer text chain. Because
Yeah.
you could inadvertently
Send
send
other
something
stuff.
that's not good. So
And that's why
if
the
you're gonna
division
just
says-
forward, really careful you're forwarding exactly what you want to
The
forward.
division says text can
Yeah.
be manipulated. Not so much email. Right? We got kids, we know what's going on. So think about this, let's think about cleaning up our next year. We won't be doing any of these little things. While I'm talking about email, the division must have an email that they can always get you because they will serve complaints via email. That's what they're starting to do in less mail. So they want an email address that's not your company email. One you'll always have. They want to come after you. What can I say? No holding open houses for another brokerage.
Lori,
Yeah.
what about builders? Is that the same thing or?
A builder is not another brokerage. Now, if they are,
Come on, I did like. we're on
Yeah.
it because of-
well, all of them may have a broker, but in the facility of their consultants are not brokers.
Right, okay.
Okay, but I have given the scripts that I want you to use when you sit in a model home So come to me if you want to do that, but that has to be fully disclosed, because what do they think when they walk in there? Who do you represent? Uh-huh. And you have to tell them, you're not there to represent the builder. What are you there for? What are you really there for?
To meet clients.
To get buyers. Okay. The public kind of needs to know that. Okay. Otherwise, it's kind of sneaky. Okay. Agency, got to be upfront about it. So I'll give you the scripts. Another cleanup on the listing form. If you're charging a transaction fee to a seller, it goes in the remarks section. And there's a line there for a signature. That's for the seller to approve that transaction fee. That's not where you sign. Why this bothers me, I don't know, because you just don't understand what it's there for. It's on the other side of the form, so you think the seller signs here, but they have to approve what is not the boilerplate of the listing, which is in remarks, because all of you don't charge a transaction fee. So that's there, and your seller must sign under there that they saw that. Okay, then they sign on the other side as well. And then below that, it says by brokerage, doesn't say by broker. So it doesn't come to me to sign. It says by brokerage, Keller Williams Capital Partners, typed in there. By you. You have to sign your listings. So if you're doing it also on your buyer broker agreement, charging a transaction fee, also make them, if you have boilerplate and then you're writing that in there, but if you've already typed it in there, then their signature is their signature. And we're going to talk more and more about that in 2024, because the trial is happening right now. I have a couple of things to say about that as well. Chat GPT and AI. Be very, very careful using those kinds of descriptive things. Yeah, just be really careful. They're telling us that more and more people are just using this stuff, and so I don't have a whole lot of experience with that, but I probably will get some. Rach?
What are we supposed to be careful of?
I don't know. They're saying
All of it.
just
Verifying the information.
yeah, verifying, because we put out stuff that we didn't research. If we're using some other source, we better know the source of the source. You know, it's just kind of,
You're just looking for accuracy of description.
yeah. That was just what she threw out there, and people like me are going, huh? Yeah, okay, tell me I don't have to get into that now and look at all your stuff.
And by she, that refers to Daphne Hawk, who's the superintendent of real estate.
Yeah. Who's a realtor, which is an interesting turn of events. So she really knows our pain. Okay. Chemical substance abuse. Anybody gone out on a listing appointment and suspected that might be happening?
You mean the person is taking it or that?
That's under the influence?
Yeah.
I have.
Well, like the
buyer? Or seller?
Seller.
Come on. We haven't? Hmm? That you suspect they're not totally with you?
Not before, but after.
But then again, we had Dan who came in whatever that was. Okay, all right, so
No, but that's the truth. I get offered drinks, at Whitfield appointments all the
No, well, that's-
And then I'll share.
Right. No, I actually went on a listing appointment many years ago, and one of the parties was impaired. Clearly impaired. And you can't continue, guys. Even if the other party wants you to. You can't. Cannot. This is, you know,
So what'd you say?
I have to leave now.
I can come back another time.
I will speak with your attorney if you care to furnish that name, but before we can take care of business, everybody must be 100% coherent. That's tough, isn't it? You got guts? You got guts? Just saying. That's a law. You can't do that. Attorneys can't do, we can't conduct business. When I tell you about elderly people and dementia, you know that, right? Chemical abuse, same thing. And there's more and more of it, sad to say. That's real. That's real. So let me see, let me make sure I've got everything that I'm talking about. The awards form, I forgot to mention this in the meeting, the awards form went online last night at Columbus Realtors, those of you who are up for an award, so you can access that form online. You can do it all online. Anything I'm forgetting from Daphne, Jill?
I don't think so. I think that covered everything.
Okay.
One thing about the awards forms, anything that is not closed through MLS, we were able to go ahead and always submit it in paper form. Now we cannot.
We cannot.
So it has to be entered into the MLS system. You know, so if it's a builder sale, if it's a sale by owner,
Yeah.
enter it into MLS, and if you need help, we can do it for you. So it will count for you.
Yeah.
But if you send it in paper format, it won't.
Oh.
Yeah, and you don't actually ever take anything to Columbus Realtors anymore.
Everything.
It's all done online.
You can't go with your forms and
No.
drive it over there. You have to fill it out online.
It's so great to just like.
What about
I
your
know.
money? You want money? Will they allow you to bring your money?
No.
Credit card. Credit card only.
Credit card only.
Any questions? Been watching the news?
I would try not to.
Yeah, no, well, the news in the world is not good,
It's terrible.
but in real estate news, so the trial began. Gary was first up in his deposition. So you can see all those on Inman and RIS media, but one of the things I want to really talk to you about, and I caution you about, the evidence that the plaintiffs have consists of emails and, I mean, social media posts of agents saying, how dare they not offer me my 3%? Or, you know, critiquing when they don't get what they think they deserve as a buyer's agent. I mean, these posts, they have volumes of them as evidence for the collusion. I cringe when I see anybody discuss commission on social media. That just gives them evidence. Don't do that. Don't discuss it, and certainly don't discuss it outside of our office. Because if it's outside and it's competitors and we're all sitting around talking about commissions, that isn't an antitrust violation. Particularly if brokers do it. That can't happen. But the fact of the matter is, it sort of has been fixed, hasn't it? We have to admit this. And they have actual testimony. They have agents recording, talking about not showing the clients the listings that didn't have what they considered to be fair compensation. I mean, they have it. And so they consider that steering. We steered people away from who wasn't offering us. We talked people out. I mean, they have the stuff.
Lori, and the fact that they have these recordings, is it because the people who they are talking to are a part of finding
It's sellers.
that are doing that?
Yes, but they were found out because the stuff was going on in the industry and lawyers are very astute. We're talking about a major law firm that took down big tobacco.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, did these things happen?
Yes.
Kind of all guilty at one time or another.
So what did Gary Keller say?
He just said, to be honest, it was an MLS rule, we offer compensation, and he didn't really, as an agent, give that any thought. But he knows people do. I've heard, in this office, 4 people marched down to my office and said, so-and-so is offering less. And I should change that. All commission is what? So scripts are gonna change. Life is gonna change, but I want you to know that the testimony that is coming forward is real. They didn't just make this up. And then it is an NAR rule that we have to compensate the other broker, but now more and more compensations are like $1. So what do we gotta do? Or get a value proposition that's, you know, airtight and we get our buyers to pay us. That's the deal.
What happened on October 16th? Remember in our last meeting, you said.
That's what's been going on all week. The trial started. That's what I'm telling you. This is evidence that's being brought forward. So.
I do want to say one more thing about Facebook, Instagram. Be careful what you like when you click like or click love, because that is being tracked. Leslie Brown at NAR, Lee Brown got basically in very big trouble because was head of fair housing there. And she liked and loved some very polarizing posts, political ones. And those were tracked, and that happened years ago. So she now is no longer in that position. So things are always being tracked, even if we think it's insignificant. So just be very careful.
Yeah. The social media stuff lives and lives and lives and lives
Forever. Yeah.
So I don't like it much. I love to see your cute babies. I'm good with that.
That's good.
But even then I get nervous. Who's seeing these cute babies? Who are these nasties? Right? I get nervous about that, but yeah, it is very, very, as Jill said, when you click like on something, it gets tracked. Everything we do gets tracked. Spooky. But that's the deal. So I just want you to know that evidence is being brought forward and we're gonna have to defeat some of those things that are being brought forward in perception. So we have value though. We have to express that value, demonstrate that value so that we can still practice. But life will change for us. One thing I can always tell you in my 47 years, everything has changed. But some great things changed, like an RPD that made my life easier. And a home inspection process. Cause we were on our own, hung out to dry. Has anybody heard my attic story? I'll leave you real quick with this. So my third or fourth transaction in the business in 1977, mostly I had 2 or 3 sellers, but I had one buyer, not client, customer. That I took to an old house up in Ashley, Ohio. They bought the house. Remember, no RPD, no home inspection in those days. Got him in there. She was, at the time they closed, about 8 months pregnant. Delaware Gazette posts all the babies. They also post the divorces and the weddings and all that kind of stuff back in the day. Do they still do that? Who lives in Delaware? Anyway, so I saw they had the baby girl, sent a gift over there. Another month passes and I got a phone call. And it was, "Hi, Lori," and the tone of voice was like, "Ooh, where is this going?" And he said, "Well, we have a problem." And I said, "With the baby?" You know, that's where my mind goes. They're like, "No, you know, the storm we had last week, well, in the middle of the night, our bedroom ceiling caved in, plaster. And my wife dove to the bassinet and got that baby out. Or it'd have been crushed under plaster." That's a phone call you don't want to get. Remember, this is my first 4 or 5 months in the business. Okay? Just telling you that not all change is bad. And so he could have sued me because I'm working for the seller, see? We had no buyer agency. But he didn't. Sued the listing broker who was also the agent. I said, "So tell me more." He said, "Well, I went up in the attic and there were 10 buckets." I said, "You take pictures?" "Yeah." I said, "You need an attorney?" He goes, "Yeah." About 18, 19 months later, it finally settled. I didn't get sued. The other broker kicked in $1,000, which paid my buyer, not my buyers, but they became my clients, attorney, and he got out of it because he didn't climb up. I mean, what listing it? You go up in the attic? I never went up in the attic. 17,000 was the settlement. A roof in 1977 was $900. Just saying. Not all change is bad, and we will get through it. Questions? I'd like to get you out by 1 o'clock, so it's my promise a little bit later. Okay.
Thank you.
Nissan, November, Thanksgiving, be grateful. Coming up. We have